Yo, 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 this is DPS Podcast, that's Damage Per Second Podcast, episode 255. And we are back for the last time in 2025 on a fine Thursday night, feeling all right. I am one of your hosts, SloMoBackSlap, with the other host here, Gaming Forte. We actually got some live topics, man. We got some serious stuff to discuss. It's going to be a very, very good show. I hope you guys are ready for what we got in store. Forte, how you been, bro?
I've been good, man.
No, hold on. But last show of the year. I'm going to give you a quote unquote proper intro since I heard I don't do proper intro. So,
Lord.
Introducing the best GameStop manager there is, bar none.
Mm-hmm.
Case closed. Introducing a man who is a terror on the battlefield. Which battlefield? Battlefield 6, that battlefield. I'm talking about Mr. Gaming Forte and champion of the Iron Lords Game Awards thingamabobber, where they vote for games and they win awards, and he won. So he's a champion and a scholar. Gaming Forte, what's up?
Look at you. Look at you trying to make me all blush. That was a great intro. You know, I might have to, anybody to come after you, I might have to say, listen, leave that man alone. His intros are A1, probably the second best in the industry of all YouTubers. I'll give him that. But no, it's been great. It's been a good week. Today was like a day. I've been at work since 9:30 this morning. I was supposed to leave at 6, but that ain't happened. So I just walked in the house like 10 minutes ago. But guess what? It's the last show of the year. We gotta do this up right. Shout out to everybody in the chat, everybody that's gonna listen to this podcast later. But with that being said, everything else been good, but I want to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, the man of many slaps, the man that will literally put his finger, if not his whole hand, on someone's face if they say something that he does not agree with, good or bad. He's also a connoisseur when it comes to these shooters out here. Murder, death, kill, MDK. It's official. He puts the Sly in Sylvester Stallone. He doesn't wear his hair. He doesn't wear his hair bleached. He doesn't bleach his hair. Like Wesley Snipes. He doesn't bleach his hair because guess what? He doesn't have to, because people see him coming from a mile away and still can't do nothing about it. He is my homie, the second half, if not the best half of the DPS podcast. His name is SloMoBackSlap, but he also goes by Old Man Slap. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Old Man Slap. You know what? I like that. I like that. That might have to be the new Twitter name. I'm good, man.
Slap.
I have been demonizing the Call of Duty community over the past week. It's been fun. I've found something out, that once you start arguing with people, I think they got like some kind of like algorithm that notices like volume levels go up in the lobby, and then they start kicking people out. So they do have persistent lobbies, but it's not like once you start talking some trash to someone, or I'm more of the kind of person that like, I ain't saying nothing until other people start talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happened, it's just been a week of terror for certain people out here, that can't shoot straight, and their controllers got like ultimate stick drift or something, and they just can't shoot straight, but I can, and they getting domed out and they get upset, So we start talking trash. Next thing I know, They're not in the lobby no more.
Oh man.
Or I'm not in the lobby no more. No, see, that's what you assume, that they're running. Mm-hmm. But it happened to me. I wasn't running. I'm all for the smoke. But next thing I know, I had already voted on the map and everything. Next thing I know, I'm searching for a new lobby. I didn't choose to. I'm like, oh, so
they got you up out of there.
Yeah, so I think there's something going on. They won't admit it, but they'll be like, getting a little too spicy, too many curse words. Too many FUs, too many, descriptions of your mama and your girl and your wife. And so we're just going to go ahead and just separate one of the two that's doing this. So I feel like.
That's funny.
Taz says, where is that negative KD footage at SloMo? I don't have any. Taz, how about that?
Not
You've been playing with me.
Not anything that he wants to show publicly, at least.
No. First of all, I hit the record button when I have some amazing highlights to show, right?
So what you're saying is,
why would I? Hold on. Why would I hit record? Oh man, I just got destroyed 10 to 45, which has never happened to me.
But let me ask you something. But how do you go back? But see, this is the thing, though. It's all about receipts here. How do you learn to be better if you're not recording your bad gameplay too? Oh,
I do record some of that. So I do see some of that, because that's why I have it. My recording settings. Yeah, well, why would you need to see it? It's for me. I need to see that so I can get better.
That's when you put out a teaching moment. This is what I'm saying. That's when you put out a teaching moment. You go on Twitter or X.
I ain't trying to teach nobody.
Say, this is where this is. I'm not. You do like a 20-second video or a minute and a half.
I'm not getting paid for that.
Because
I ain't teaching nobody.
You got a YouTube channel.
You can get better on your own. You gotta get your own. You know that old commercial with like
you better get back in the day. You better get yours.
No, the one where it's like some back in the day, if you was like watching BT late night, that stuff. But like there's always this commercial would come up where like it was like this music. And these two old guys was like, like this one dude's like, oh, these songs is great. Wait, can I borrow this? And then the other guy goes, you gotta get your own. So I'm saying, you better learn your own, record your own footage, look at your footage, and figure out what you need to do to get better. I ain't got nothing to do with it. By the way, over the past week, I may have had maybe one negative KD match, one. Out of all that I have, I already got like 400 matches in Black Ops 7. And
you weren't even playing that much at first either.
I'm on Prestige. Right now, I'm on Prestige 3. And I kind of stayed from prestiging for a minute because I wanted to finish leveling up some guns. You know how like if you prestige, you don't have access to all the guns again. So I wanted to level up some of the weapons. And I've prestige now. In this one, you can prestige some of the weapons too. Mm-hmm. So I am I prestige 2 guns, and I prestiged my my account like 3 times. So but no, man, like this. I'm not saying that I'm like amazing or great in the game.
I'm saying just saying that
it's been a very successful week over the past week since we last time. I would never say that. I let
but
others,
you talk so much.
I let others speak on how good I am.
You be like Kirk Cousins out here when he played for you. Like, I like that. You like that. That's what you be like, SloMo. when he played for you. You like that. Screaming at the camera, walking by, bravado going through bravado at 11.
Hey, Arcade says, I just blame the bad games on the lobby. I mess around with Taz like that. I'll be like, man, Taz, this is your skill-based matchmaking that's doing this. When we get for me, I think a bad match is any time where my KD is below a 1.5. That's a bad match. If my KD is above a 2.0, I think that's a good match. From 1.5 to 2.0 is just all right. It's just all right. Now, if my KD is like a 1.24, I'm telling Taz, if Taz is in the lobby with me, this is your fault, man. And you know, we do that back and forth. It's just messing around with him. But I'm having a good time playing Call of Duty.
About your lobbies though, man. He says your lobbies is trash.
My lobbies are,
dude. Your lobbies are kind of trash, bro.
An acquired breed. You know, only their mama loves them. Only the mama of these demons that end up in my matches love them. I be looking at those terrible people. I be in those parties and those matches, and I'm like, what is this? Who are these inbreeds that's running around this map? So crazy. You got some of the craziest SMB skill-based matchmaking, bro. And I do think that after getting called out, though, I think after getting called out, Activision has gone back to relaxing the skill-based matchmaking. I think it's more ping. Well, sometimes I think it's more ping related. I almost feel like they change it on a daily basis, because one day I was playing, and I'm not saying like if you live in my area, in my country, that you only speak English. I'm not saying that. I don't know what language this guy was speaking. And his ping was through the roof. Like his ping was like higher than some people's IQs. And I'm just like,
damn.
What is he doing here? Like, and it was ridiculous. So because I'm looking like
than the average bear.
I'm looking at like he killed me. I look at the kill cam, and I'm like I had like less than a millisecond to see this guy, but in his kill cam, I'm just kind of like standing there, like, shoot me in the face, man, please. Like, what is happening? So no, since I'm already kind of talking about Call of Duty, I might as well just tell you what I've been playing. So of course, Call of Duty, prestige and weapons, prestige in the account. I'm almost done with the battle pass already. And we got some more to talk about Call of Duty, because some interesting things popped up over the week since our last show. So we'll get to that later. I have finally started playing this RPG I had mentioned before called Demon School. It was something that I saw. I can't remember where I saw it initially. It had to have been either early this year or late last year, but I started playing that finally. It came out last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. Yeah, maybe 2 weeks ago. Finally started playing it this week. Really, really dope, unique take on the combat. So like, it's kind of like one of those like strategy RPG grid kind of like map over the isometric view RPGs with the interesting take with it is that like you have two stages of your turns. It's turn based. The first stage is, now I wish I would have recorded it, but I completely forgot to record it. But the first stage is the planning stage, and so you literally kind of like go through. And matter of fact, here's a great example of it. You played Detroit Become Human, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you remember in certain parts of Detroit Become Human where the androids would kind of like plan out a way of like parkouring up a wall or something like that, and you had to pick the right path or the right route for it. Right. Demon School is kind of similar to that, except there isn't really a right route. It's just, you know, whatever you deem is most efficient for you and your party to beat the demons. And so it's you do the planning stage of it, and then there's the execution stage where they actually do it, and it's like everyone that you have planned out of the 4 characters that you have in your party to do something, they all do it at once, and you can see how sometimes when they combine abilities, it looks dope. It really reminds me of like, I know this some people will be like, that's cap, but it's fine. It reminds me of like some of the choreographed stuff that we see at like in the Avengers, where like the Avengers movies where you see them all fighting together and their teamwork is on, you know, 1000, that kind of thing. When you really do it well, it looks real dope. And I feel like that's like the main focus the developers had when they created the game. Like they really, really honed in on making sure that was awesome. And it is. Everything else is very blah. Like the story is kind of standard fare. It's about a school that's on an island. And it's clearly like the people who run the school have ill intent in mind for the students. And your characters are like just there trying to figure out what's going on while also fighting off like scores of demons. But which is, isn't super original, but it's nothing bad about that in particular. But the other issue really is just the dialogue. Like Forte, this is the worst dialogue I've ever played in a game. Like, matter of fact, not ever, because I did play the original Resident Evil, which struggled to have complete sentences. This is almost that level. Like the dialogue is so bad. Half the time I'm just like, what are you talking about? Why would you say that? Who wrote this? Like I just kept saying that to myself. But I'm still enjoying it because the combat's good. And I kind of want to see where the story goes as far as like how it advances. I pretty much have beat the first big boss of the game, and it's pretty good so far. So I will say that's pretty good. I also played Final Fantasy VII Remake demo on the Xbox and the Switch too, because that came out this week. The demo dropped, and it's the same demo. If you played the demo back on the PS4 or on PC when it came out on PC, it's the same exact demo. It's just doing that first Mako reactor mission, and that's it. And you do the big boss fight near the end of it, and then you leave. That's the entire demo. It runs really well on both platforms. I mean, I played it on the Xbox Series X, rock solid 60 frames per second in performance mode, no real issues or bugs or anything like that. And surprisingly, the Switch 2 had good frame pacing for it to be on Switch 2. It was 30 FPS, but it didn't drop any frames or anything like that. So, and the image is a little bit softer. Like it's not like as high as a resolution as the Series X, of course. Like no one would expect any differently. But if you're thinking about picking this up on either platform, I think, as far as the demo is performance goes, hopefully the actual game has the same level of performance. But if that is the case, then you're in for a treat because the game's a great game. So I think that's it for me. Forte, what you been playing?
So
no, wait. I'm sorry. I got one more, and I want to show the gameplay of it because it's freaking awesome. Expedition 33's free update content. This stuff is great. It's great. This game is great. There's a couple things they did in the free update. They added new bosses to the Endless Tower. I did not get the chance to fight them yet because where I left my game off is on New Game +4, and I was in Act 1. And so when the update, they did the Shadow Drop the update at the Game Awards, I was like, oh snap, I need to go, get myself, but I didn't do it right away. And I've basically been spending the past week trying to jump back into it and then get myself up. So today I got back up to Act 3. I made it to like the state, like floor 8 in the Endless Tower. I think it's like 11 floors. At least it was 11 floors before the update. So I'm not where the new bosses they added in there yet. I did go to the new area versus those drafts, and I have been getting some of the new weapons. They're interesting. The new Pictos, the new outfits. Like if you're looking at the Jumbotron, Lune is wearing one of the new outfits that looks dope. It is it's pretty good. The performance of the new area is a little iffy. It's Unreal Engine 5 though, so it's probably like that because it's trying to get the shaders in time, and it's kind of like struggling to stream them all correctly. But it's pretty interesting. They got a nice little story going on, inside there. They added photo mode, The photo mode is pretty bare bones, but you can literally activate it anywhere. You can activate it in the middle of a battle while some dope choreography is happening when you're being attacked or you're attacking someone else. Cutscenes, open world, literally anywhere you can activate the photo mode. So that's awesome. It's just I wish there was more like functions to it, but other than that, it's been pretty good so far. And I'm gonna I know that people complaining about the bosses, saying the bosses are really hard, and I'm like, I mean, maybe it's because my my builds are so OP, but I'm on New Game Plus 4, so like I used to be able to one shot everything. On New Game Plus 4, I can't one shot regular enemies no more. So it's essentially, even without adding in the modifiers, I just disabled all that stuff, and the enemies survive beyond the first round. So I mean, I fought a couple of the new bosses in Verso's draft, and I don't know what the people was complaining about so far. Maybe I haven't found the ones that have really been bodying people, but I've been good so far. But that's about it. That's all I got. Now, my bad. Forte. What you been playing, man?
Battlefield. I played like a couple hours the other day. Also, some more Hollow Knight on Switch. Started playing Final Fantasy Tactics on Switch too. Because it's been a while. I haven't played that game since PSP, so I wanted to jump into that. That's mostly what I've been doing. I did progress a little bit more in Cleric's Cure. Not that much, just played a little bit of it just to like not forget everything that I learned in the game, because don't want to take that big of a hiatus away from it. But outside of that, that's mostly it. I'm trying to, it's kind of hard because it's like working like this time of year. It's like people don't realize, like, yeah, you work at a game store, yeah, it's fun, but working with the community or with patrons and customers and stuff, it's not bad, it's just exhausting, because you're always at a heightened awareness of just selling or having to like solve people's problems, especially during this time of year where people don't know what they want, or people send parents or their grandma, granddad, and they don't know exactly, like, oh, I don't know that. Like they'll ask for a gift card for a system, and I'm like, oh, I'm looking for gift cards for Fortnite. Well, is it for PC? Is it for Xbox? Is it PlayStation? Well, they say, do these work? And say, yeah, they work if they have an Epic account, but if they don't have an Epic account, they got to make one. But if you got an Xbox or a PlayStation account, you just buy this. And they say, oh, that sounds easier. Well, let me find out what system. So it's just stuff like that, little things, nothing that really bothered me, but it's like, it's exhausting. So exhausting. And then living here in Michigan, weather is the thing. Like today, SloMo. Well, today and yesterday, guess what? It was 40 degrees outside. And in Michigan, Go ahead. No, what were you about to say?
I was just gonna say it was actually pretty warm here.
Dude, it's so nice outside today. It is crazy when you say 40 degrees, like 40, 45 degrees today, like literally a week ago, SloMo.
In December. Yeah.
Yes. 40 to 50, 45 degrees in Michigan in the winter in December. I was like, bro, it was dog crap cold. Taz can speak to this. He lives here. It is cold as heck last week. Like, it was snowing. Like, the fact that I had to put salt down in the driveway because it was like slip and slide outside. And then today and yesterday, all that snow almost melt. My driveway didn't have to have snow, had to have salt in it no more. When we have a snow plow that does our neighborhood and stuff, when they plow your neighborhood and all the snow accumulates in front of your driveway. And if you don't get to it right then and there, it all freezes. And then you got like this hump at the end of your driveway. So it froze over from the first time. And I like tried to go over it and it was like frozen solid down there. So every time I would go down and it was like this at everybody's house. as soon as you leave your driveway and going in, it felt like you were hitting a speed bump. So you couldn't go too fast going into your own driveway. That's gone now because it was like super nice outside. But this is a gaming podcast, and I meant to ask you this, and we didn't talk about it last week, bro. But outside of games, I love football, bro. And my college, bro. University of Michigan. What happened, bro? Do you know what happened here?
Yeah, I do. Unfortunately. This is why
I am so torn right.
Hold on. This is why.
Go ahead.
You do not cheat on your spouse. Because if he had just kept it in his pants and focused on making this team good, none of that would have happened.
None of this would have happened, bro.
None of it would have happened. He out here crashing out, lost his job, crashed out again. Now he got arrested. Can't be doing that when you cheating on your wife with a white woman.
His wife is a white woman, though.
Yeah, but like you can't be crashing out in a white woman's apartment.
You can't be
talking about being violent.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Like what?
You can't do that. You're basically begging to get arrested at that point. So
I just don't like.
Pheasant Tomato says it's been pretty funny as a Ohio State fan.
Oh, listen. As a Michigan fan, like, listen, bro. I am one of the few people. Well, there's a lot of people in Michigan that respects Ohio State. Like I may not like driving through that God forbidden state. That state gets on my nerves when I drive through it. I hate it.
Ohio does kind of suck. Look, no offense to anyone who live in Ohio, but I've been there a few times, and
yeah, I hate that state, bro. It's like driving through it. It's like I can't wait till I see Cincinnati and I'm about to cross it into Kentucky. I love that part of it.
Yeah, it's like something. Stadium. It's like a depressing.
It is
like a draining of your life force that happens.
And it's 4 hours of it. I'm like, why is this state 4 hours long? But guess what? Yeah. It is
like
what
a
it
bad
is.
movie.
Yeah, it is. It's terrible. But look, that's the only thing.
Apologies for us going in on
your state, bro. Because guess what? People hate going through Michigan too, but you really don't have to go through Michigan. Michigan is a state you have to want to come to because you don't have to travel through it unless you're going to Canada. But no. With that being said, I love listen. I respect O State.
And why would you go to Canada?
The Ohio State, the state that we can actually pronounce the school's name and not feel like that team up north. I can actually say it. Which SloMo, I think is the coolest thing. Like, as much as I hate it, I think that is so cool that they have a school that they can call their school the Ohio State. It's not just Ohio State. It's the, and I'm kind of envious to that a little bit. I was like, it makes it feel more special than it really is. And that is cool. And I like that. But trust me, I hate that school when we play against them. And the fact that we lost this year made it even worse. And then my coach crashed out. And then I'm up here watching I'm watching all of these beat writers from Ohio State talk about all of this stuff. And I was like, I can't even be mad at this because it's right. They're all freaking right. Our coach is out here texting OnlyFans at the middle of the halftime game. What are we doing? Listen,
really?
No, you ain't hear about
crazy.
that? No, dude.
No.
He was literally texting. Well, this is a rumor, but a lot of people on staff came out and said that because he was following a lot of,
I just had a vision in my mind that was just like, instead of working on halftime adjustments, he was looking at his phone saying, "Damn, look at them titties." All right, that's my only one. Okay, I'm done. All right, let's get back on track. We ain't gonna spend 10 minutes.
No, we ain't gonna.
You will be all night complaining about
my whole Like the whole last 2 weeks has been bad. We don't know who our next coach is going to be. I don't know if our team is going to be our team next week because the transfer order opens up on the 2nd. So it's just crazy. And then as an African American, this is the last thing I'm going to say about it. As an African American, I'm more let down more to the fact that this dude blew the bag, bro. You were the first black coach at the University of Michigan. Skip all that other crap about people saying, oh, Michigan's overrated. Dude, that is a top 5 school in the country when it comes to pretty much anything. And you were the first to do it. And I feel like I don't think he understands how many people he let down on this. Just in that regard. But we're going to move on from that because I'm going to get even more pissed off about it. I need a new coach to come in here and beat Ohio State next year so I can just forget that this whole stupid year happened. That's all I'm looking forward to. But that's all I had, SloMo. Let's get into these rapid fire topics before I literally, crash out. Seriously.
Oh, really?
Nice segue.
That was actually a very perfect way to go through. So first rapid fire topic, E33, Expedition 33 sales have skyrocketed since the Game Award show last week. They have almost doubled the amount of total sales the game has. I think at one point, before the last time they updated everyone, they said they had 4 million copies sold for a indie studio in their first game. That's amazing. Now they're up to 6 million sold, following an immediate spike in sales after their historic award-winning 9-category wins at the Game Awards, something that has not been done by any other game prior to this year's award show. So congratulations to them. Game's amazing, and they shadow dropped a new update. So good for them. Anything you want to say on that, Forte?
What was this? You said anything I have to say on that, SloMo? Is that what you just asked me?
Yeah.
Not really.
No comments. No congratulations. No great job. Nothing.
By who? For who?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those cases where Forte was not paying attention
I'm just
at
messing
all.
with you. No. I was just messing with you. Go ahead, SloMo. What were you about to say?
No. You go ahead. Answer the question.
No. Go ahead. What were you about to say?
I'm about to say nothing. I actually want to hear you answer the question.
No, I was going to say no. It's actually a huge achievement for that to happen. As much as everybody feels like it's all rigged, it was still a huge achievement for that to happen. I didn't expect it to go the way it was going to go. I kind of did. I just didn't expect it to actually unfold that way. And can't nobody take that away from them, though. Yeah, and they deserve every last one of them that they got, SloMo. Don't you agree?
Yeah, but what about the sales?
What about the sales?
But that's the topic. With how many? Do you know how many copies they've sold now?
No, I don't know how many.
Well, it's obvious because you weren't paying attention when I said it.
I just didn't hear how many sales you said they had. Go
it's
ahead,
6 million. They've increased 2 million sales.
You make it seem like it's terrible.
No, I'm not. What's terrible is that you weren't paying attention when I said it the first time. That's terrible.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think the sales are great.
It is great. It's awesome for a
more
team
than great.
That's small. But no,
what's the size of their
team?
We
were being accused. It's 30.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty big.
Yeah. But no, like it's good. Well, I mean, they got a movie in the works or something like that. I hope it doesn't do a retelling of the games. I think the game's story is perfect as is. I hope it kind of maybe gets into different aspects of the Clay Obscura universe, like with the writers and the painters. Also, I think interesting comment said in the chat where Slackrow believes the Baldur's Gate 3 is the game-defining game. Genre-defining game, my bad. There's nothing genre-defining about Baldur's Gate 3 or Expedition 33, if you really think about it. Like, both of them tread on ground that's already been created. It's just that they executed so well on the game design and the stuff that they did within the game that really led to the success that they both had. But neither game is doing anything that hasn't been done before. Larian, with Baldur's Gate 3, Larian had already largely did a lot of that stuff already with Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2. So it's not like it was, oh my God, I've never seen this before. There'd be probably people who had never seen it before, but that's because they hadn't engaged in other games that had already done that. Likewise, like a lot of the elements that you see in E33, there's some Souls-like elements. There is some, traditional turn-based JRPG elements. There are some Western influences. There's a lot of stuff that's there that is from influenced or inspiration from a lot of the other games that are already out. So, we can move on though. I don't want to stay on this topic for too long. Forte, you ready to move on to the next one? I guess I'm talking to myself, chat.
No, I said I'm good.
Oh, you didn't say nothing.
I was muted. I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought I said I was good. I'm sorry.
Oh, really? You was muted?
I just unmuted. Calm down.
So, Sony and Tencent have reached a confidential settlement. They will not be disclosing how much, but a confidential settlement on the copyright infringement case where Tencent's Light of Morthame, I guess that's how you say it, was shown to be a blatant ripoff of Sony's Horizon Zero Dawn. And in light of this settlement, Light of Morthame is also no longer listed on Steam or Epic Game Store. So with that said, it seems as if Tencent paid some money to make this go away. Am I wrong? I don't know. What do you think, Forte?
You are kind of wrong.
Why am I wrong?
Why do you think you're not? Okay, you said, "Am I wrong?" I don't know. Why did you say that? Was that just like tongue in cheek?
Well, I mean, I definitely know I'm not wrong. I'm just saying
why
that,
aren't
like,
you wrong though? Or why are you right?
What are we doing here?
I'm just asking because you said the statement. You said I could be wrong, but that's what you said. I'm just asking.
Yeah, because I'm not wrong.
I just asked to follow up, but see, you said I could be wrong.
Look, when
if you're
when
not wrong, you wouldn't say I could be wrong.
The issue at hand was this game's existence, and this game having even its marketing, its concept art, the design of the mechanical dinosaurs, the main character, all of it is just basically
it's all ripoff.
It's a ripoff of Horizon Zero Dawn. That game no longer being listed on storefronts that it was listed for tells you exactly who paid out the money and who received the money. Tencent paid because they were in the wrong, and Sony, the number was enough for Sony to say, okay, we'll let this case drop. And by the way, in the settlement, get that crap off of all the storefronts out there, because I don't even want to see it no more. And it was done. Okay,
so you say thank you, but why do you think you could have been wrong though? You think that it could have been something other than that?
No,
you should never say that I could be wrong.
Forte.
Yes.
It's too late in the year for this nonsense. Okay?
No, it's not. I just want you to be.
You out here.
Listen, this is DPS podcast. We got to make sure that we are speaking in factual tones.
Factual time. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic.
I just want to be combative today. That's all.
You are not getting my blood pressure up today. I know that for daggone sure. It's not happening, Captain.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. Now, but some bad news here. And something I think we
Sly
both
Crow made
are
a
going
good
to have
point.
some.
Sly Crow made a good point. He said, "Hold on, Power World survived, but not this." Sony, you would think that Nintendo
Power World is it? No. Light of Mothra. I'm gonna call it that because I
Mothra.
can't.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, Light of Mothra is a literal blatant ripoff. Power World is not a literal blatant ripoff of Pokemon. It does take a lot of inspiration from it, but as far as like map design, character design, like there's some things that but like not literally everything about the game being a ripoff of the original. Like it's not the same. It's not the same. I think Power World should keep fighting. Fight Power World. Fight for your rights.
Power.
But someone who did not fight apparently is James Olin of BioWare fame, BioWare veteran, worked on Mass Effect, worked on Knights of the Old Republic, and was co-founder for Archetype Entertainment, who is making Exodus, which was shown at the Game Awards and was revealed to be slated to come out Q1 of 2027. James Olin is stepping down from his role with Archetype, and Wizards of the Coast, who's publishing the game, says Olin wanted to focus more on tabletop games right now, since the creative process for Exodus is now over and they're in a polishing phase. But I mean, look, that's a fine statement if it's true. That's somewhat doubtful to me. And the reason why that's doubtful to me is that most directors, if they choose to leave on a game that they are leading up, it's usually after the game has been released. It's not like in the middle of development. Even if the whole creative stage is over, they're just basically just trying to polish the game for the next year until which I'm fine with, because that means that hopefully this game is going to be somewhat bug free. That said, you have to kind of see it through, and you're putting another director in place to finish that up. You know, it just doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense. The statement also was coming from Wizards of the Coast. It wasn't coming from James Olin himself. All of that seems to me like somebody got pushed out, and maybe, I don't know, because like Exodus was supposed to come out next year in 2026, and now it's been pushed to 2027. I don't know if that played a part in it, but I'm not like off the Exodus train. This is still one of my most anticipated games coming out soon, but I am somewhat concerned about that and whether that's going to kind of like dictate what might be the quality of the game when it comes out. What are your thoughts on this?
The quality of the game. Does the game? I don't know. I think it isn't going to dictate that, but I also think at a different. I guess the question I'm going to ask you this. I guess the question is this: like, what is the work like when it comes to the quality of the game? Like, it's not like a huge game. Like, and how long has it been in development at this point?
Oh, probably about 5 years.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I also feel like
4 to 5 years.
I think once a game hits a certain threshold, it's not like this is the thing, like Cyberpunk. How that game was in development. Well, we knew about it in 2013, but they really didn't ramp up development until 2016. They just had 2015, 2016. That game came out in 2023. Wasn't it 2023 when Cyberpunk released?
2020.
Was it 2020?
Yes.
Has it been 5 years since Cyberpunk been out?
Yes, it has. They celebrated the 5-year anniversary a few weeks ago.
Dude, it does not feel like 5 years has went by.
It should not have come out in 2020. It should have come out in 2022.
It should have came out in 2022. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of because you know what? Now I do remember. Yeah, you're right because I bought that game day one and I had it on my Xbox and I said I refuse to play this game until they fix it, and it took 2 years. So yeah, you're right. Dang, that game has been out that long, bro. We cooked. We're cooked out here, bro. We're cooked. At a certain point, it's like games take a long time to build at this point. I don't think it's going to be at the detriment of the game, but I also think the longer games are in development and they don't come out, like the goodwill of the game and people wanted to like really play it had like really success. Unless you're a huge game like Hollow Knight, people waited for Hollow Knight because they loved the first one. So it was like it was no issues with the first one. There was nothing, that people had gripes with. So when the game finally came out,
Hollow Knight gave Team Cherry a lot of goodwill.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. They gave a lot of goodwill. So people were willing to wait for it.
Yeah, so they gave it a lot of goodwill. But Archetype Entertainment, even though they got a lot of like pedigree from the people who work there, this is their first game as the studio. There is no goodwill built up already.
Well, think about a game like Lost Suicide. Like people's excitement around Lost Suicide just diminished the longer and longer it took for that game to come out, to the point where it finally, when it released, no one really cared. At least it
wasn't. It didn't live up to the hype.
It didn't live up to the promise. What it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and so my issues, not issues, my concerns with this is that what Archetype is attempting to do with this game are some really innovative features of your typical Western RPG Mass Effect kind of game. Like people think Exodus is like the next Mass Effect, the same way that Expanse game by Owlcat looks to be another Mass Effect. But what Archetype's doing is a little bit different in that they're taking the whole idea of your choices matter to a different level where you're going in and out of time or going through time in this game, and like decisions that you made earlier in the game at one point, you see the immediate results of those things, of those decisions, of those quests, or the results of those quests later on, because you're traveling through time like that. And it's like it's an integral part of its game design. The fact that that's so different, I think, might be part of the reason why it may have been taking a little bit longer for this to come out, and could potentially like it not really kind of like landing, and maybe they had to rescope some things and make it a little different because they couldn't quite nail the execution the way they wanted to. I'm speculating. I'm not saying that's the case, but like that, I can see that potentially being the reason why the co-founder of the studio and team director, lead director is leaving, because that seems kind of odd to just leave with a year left to go on the game, So it's just very, very odd. That's all. Anything else you want to say about this? We can move on.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, really?
Right.
Oh, really?
Dispatch is coming to the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. Did you see this? Forte?
What's that? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
What happened?
I asked you a question.
I didn't hear you.
Did you see that Dispatch 1 and 2, I'm sorry, is coming to the Switch 1 and 2?
No, I didn't see that.
Yes, starting January 29th is when this is coming out. And considering how quickly how soon this is coming out after launch, I would say that despite the game's success, that this is probably already in the works before the first one, like before it launched on PC and PlayStation 5. So they haven't mentioned anything about an Xbox release yet, but that is going to be something popping up on the Switch in January. I'm going to, at this point, triple dip. I'll play this on the Switch. It's a dope game, and it's pretty easy to run considering how they developed it. Are you going to cop it on the Switch too? Dude, what are you doing?
I'm just saying,
Can you answer questions? Like, you acting real strange right now. Like, what are we doing here?
All right. What? Oh, you're funny. You don't
funny.
Let me say like that.
No, answer questions.
Well,
Like, it's a conversation. You know, we talk, we ask questions. There's a response. There isn't just silence and hums.
But maybe, is this bothering you, SloMo?
I'm about to end the podcast. How about
what?
that?
No, you're not. It's people
I am.
No.
Well, people ain't show up for you to go
No, listen, Dispatch. I most likely will play this and buy this on the Switch because I feel like this game is perfect for a game like that where it's episodic. I feel like, listen, I'm starting to feel like every game should be built around playing on the go, because especially like episodic games and stuff like this, where you could just like pick it up, play an episode or play a couple of episodes and put it down and, you know, come back to it whenever you want to. I'm definitely going to pick it because I saw the last, like, I haven't seen the last episode because when she was doing it, I was watching something else. But I saw the third and the fourth episode, but I haven't seen the first and the second one.
So you haven't played it yourself?
No, I literally have not yet. I just know that I watched my daughter go through an emotional roller coaster playing this game to the point where she was on our podcast and spoke very intelligently about what she liked and the things. Like, listening to you guys have that conversation got me excited to play the game. I ain't gonna lie.
So that means you're getting it on the Switch?
Oh, I mean, I'm definitely gonna get it on the Switch.
Are you gonna play it?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it on the Switch. I play a lot. I play more games on my Switch than, well, I won't say did on my PC, but I do play a lot of games on my Switch.
I know. If it's true, it's true. Go ahead and say
No,
it.
no. I mean, because I have a lot of.
You only play Battlefield on your PC.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't play nothing else. You don't play Call of Duty with me.
Yes, I do. I play Call of Duty with you.
No, you don't.
On
No, you
Switch,
don't.
On PC before.
Before. Like you.
Oh,
lately.
I'm glad you caught that. He's like,
Yeah, before. Before.
Well, you know. That means I've done it before.
I mean, we used to play Halo before, but we don't no more.
Well, nobody plays Halo anymore.
Hey, look.
Does anybody play that game anymore? I don't even think the people that like
the adding of the word before means not at this time, not currently, not presently.
You don't currently play Halo.
No, I'm not talking about Halo. I'm talking about whatever. God.
Do you play Battlefield currently?
I played 2 weeks ago.
No, that's before.
That's still current. 2 weeks is still current.
No,
yes, it is.
Oh,
yes, it is.
Oh, so we're rewriting what current and before means.
We are not.
Yes, you are. I like how
very easily.
You just snickered when I said 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks from now means I'm still playing the game.
No, it doesn't.
Halo Infinite is not installed on my PC. Is Call of Duty installed on your PC?
Yeah, it's still installed on my PC.
Okay. I wonder if Taz is still in the chat. You were supposed to be playing with us 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I've been
working. It was not installed. No.
Oh, no. 2 weeks ago, it wasn't installed.
No. Okay. But the game had already came out.
But it's already...
You played...
But I had wait,
hold
before.
On. First weekend, opening weekend, you played 5 matches with me.
Sure did.
And that's it.
And
then you uninstalled the game, apparently. Because by the time... A few weeks later, you trying to play, you had to reinstall the game.
No. I didn't uninstall the game. It made me do the most dumbest full game update I've ever had to do in my life. You know how Call of Duty acts on this.
They be having like 2 updates a week.
I know, and since I didn't play in like a month,
all you did was do the update, and you never came back. You said, "All right, I'm gonna go do this update," and then no, it didn't take forever. You ain't got Starbucks Wi-Fi internet. You got real internet. Your behind walked away, and you never came back. And we played without you, knowing you were never coming back. And you
But was that considered current or before?
You didn't play the game.
I did.
So
play
it's before. It's not current. You didn't play the game.
But you haven't played Battlefield in 2 weeks, and that is before.
I've played Battlefield sooner than you played Call of Duty.
That's not the question, though.
Case closed. The
question is still before.
It's done.
Did you play Call of Duty today? You played Call of Duty today, right?
I played Call of Duty yesterday. I haven't played today.
Oh, yesterday? So that's still current because you're still within a 24-hour window. Listen, you're trying to argue. No,
you're trying to redefine what current means, and we're not doing this. We are not doing this.
We're gonna ask Chatty what before means. What does the word? You know what? This is what y'all get when the topics we have are good, but we can like deviate a lot. And you get in the last podcast.
No, this is what we get where Forte don't want to actually do any of the topics. He just want to. I don't know if he's been drinking. You know, it's that time of year. It's the season for the drinking or something.
Me.
Oh my god! You know what? Next topic.
Wait. Before means earlier than something else in time, order, or position. Here is the most common way it's used.
Why are you doing?
Time.
We are not doing the definition of before as if we're in second grade or something. And we don't have vocabulary words. We are grown adults. We know what before and current means.
Something happens earlier than another event. Eating breakfast before you go to school. This happens before.
I'm just going. These gunshots is going to mute everything you're saying.
Wait, order of
Stop talking. Stop talking.
Read instructions before.
Stop talking. Stop it.
Page 3 comes before page 4. I can't.
This episode is a disaster. Okay, look. All right, so new topic. Bungie this week dropped a Vidoc for Marathon where they announced the game will be releasing in March 2026 and the price will be $40. I think we discussed that earlier this year because we had already heard there was going to be $40, but it's official. There is a sticker price to play in this game, which, hey, Arc Raiders has a sticker price, so that's not really that big a deal. From watching the Vidoc, I will say this. It does seem to me as if the gunplay has improved a little bit, or maybe they're showing better gunplay because I haven't played the game. I haven't played, even though I've had access to all of their closed betas. I just never really felt like playing it. But from what I've seen, what they showed in the Vidoc looked a little better on the gunplay wise. Like I didn't really think what they were showing before really enticed me. That said, they said that they're going to have more maps than before, more different classes, and it seems as if they have a better idea of how focused they need to be on making sure the game could be a good extraction shooter. I'm not going to say successful because I feel like that ship has sailed. I think at this point, Marathon, you can do whatever you want with it. You could make it. It could be actually a better extraction shooter than Arc Raiders.
It could be.
It's the stigma on this game is so bad with how it was revealed, with the stealing of art, with all that stuff, that it's almost guaranteed to fail. I feel like a large segment of the communities, the demographic of gamers that they were looking for to play this game have just written it off. And if it was free, then potentially you may get some people to just go, maybe it's all right. I'll install it. I'm just wasting some bandwidth. And then I'll go ahead and, write it off if it's not good. And maybe they play it, they go, oh, it's great. Okay, never mind then. But when you are kind of behind the 8 ball the way this game is and the sticker price is $40, sure, that was fine for Arc Raiders, but everyone wanted to play that game. Nobody wants to play your game, Bungie. So you charge, it's like the value proposition isn't the same. And so that's really kind of what the issue is, I think. I think this game is just not, it may look better, but I don't think it really has improved this game's chances of being successful. What do you think?
That game's dead, bro. That game ain't gonna make it. Game ain't gonna make it, bro. Go ahead, cut your losses. Go ahead and cut your losses. I don't know what they were thinking. That I hate. So there is like a lot of there's a lot of bias coming from a lot of people on this, because I do feel like a lot of people just don't care about extraction shooters. So ultimately, a lot of people's comments and their motivation are coming from a place where they just don't think it's a game that looks good or even something that they even care about. So instantly it goes to the point where it's not gonna survive. I truly don't think, even if I like that type of game, it was gonna survive, because I don't think there's enough people that want to support that type of game at the level that Bungie needs it to make it worth their while. Like there is such a catch-22, because they put so much of their resources into building Marathon, resources they should have kept, they should have kept utilizing for the game that was paying the bills. Like, I don't understand. My whole thing is, I don't understand how you can start a new project cutting off you cut off the golden goose before the new thing was ready. Like, I feel like
so you're saying they should have, if you're gonna make Marathon, build a new team, probably take some veterans from the Destiny team, but you have them be the leaders of a new team. You staff up a new team to make this game. You don't take the entire multiplayer team from Destiny and then put them on a new game. And then now the multiplayer in Destiny doesn't get a new map for like 3 years.
Right.
And it's just reusing the same content. And then when PvE updates happen, it's like it creates an imbalance in PvP, because the people who made those updates didn't even take into account how it would affect PvP. And so they got to do adjustments after the fact. It's just...
Well, and for me, it wasn't that I got tired of Destiny. That's part of it. But the reason I got tired of it, like, I was looking, like, I as much as I played PvE, I spent 32% of my time was in Crucible. The next closest thing was 22%, which was in raids. So I spent 10% more time in the Crucible. And I didn't even really consider myself, like, I mean, yeah, I was a good PvP player, but the thing people don't realize about PvP...
you're a real good PvP player.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to try to shortchange it. I was really good at it. But the thing was, people don't realize in Destiny, people played PvP to break up the monotony of, PvE. It was like, when I went and got a good weapon in PvE, or if I didn't have somebody online, like, I would run around and do things in the game that I could do by myself, have fun, do this, do story missions, do a raid or whatever. But 90% of the time when I was playing the game, I would do a couple of different things like in the PvE. Then I would run PvP for like 3-4 hours. But once it got to the point where less and less people were playing it because they weren't doing updates to the game. You know, the sandbox got very, very toxic. You kept running up against, like, you talk about skill-based matchmaking. Listen, as much as Taz gives you the crap about skill-based matchmaking, people that played Destiny with me, my skill-based matchmaking was horrible for people that did. I couldn't even play PvP with people in Destiny unless they were like on my level or a little bit better, because it was like unbearable to play in those lobbies.
Y'all hear this, man? You hear this, man?
Listen, I understand, but see, I'll be the first person to admit it. I don't know. SloMo think his lobbies ain't. He think his lobbies are like, you know, God's gift to all people playing Call of Duty, and I'm like, no, the hell it isn't.
What?
Your lobbies are just as bad, if not worse, than mine's are. So I just think in general, they lost a lot of the player base. You know, a lot of people say they didn't care about PvP like that, but it was the thing that kept a lot of people engaged in the game. So when you move your entire
the events they had, like the what was it, when they would I forgot what it's called. It was like,
Trials.
You would
Iron Banner.
Iron Banner, there we go. But both of them, you had Trials of Osiris and you had Iron Banner. Like, you had like these little events that would pop up that, like, you know, like the rewards for Iron Banner when I used to play Destiny. Like, I probably was maybe 60 to 65% more on the PvE than the PvP with Destiny. But when I jumped into the PvP, I mean, I the week of the Iron Banner, I was all PvP. Like, I didn't even do the PvE stuff, and it's just like,
many people play Iron Banner back. Like you're talking about the first 3 or 4 years of Destiny. Everybody played that. I was playing 100 to 200 matches a week in Iron Banner. Like, trying to get all, like, you're trying to get the whole armor set, trying to get all the weapons. You're doing it across all of your characters. And then the way the bounties were set up, you had to play. I think the bounty was set up that you had to play at least 25 games on each character just to get the bounties done.
I'm getting PTSD.
No, but that's the thing,
switch back and forth between characters.
Yeah, that was the crazy thing. Like, once you finished it, now I gotta go level up this other one, and then the thing is, your gear ain't where it needs to be, and you don't got the loadout and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially if it's one of your classes that, like, you don't really engage with the most. So you got the worst gear on that one, so it's just even worse time. Yeah, it was
terrible.
Yeah.
But guess what? People still did it though because they wanted that armor, and the chase was there. But that's the thing, you know. We're going down the rabbit hole about Destiny and its failings. But for me, I just think that Marathon is something that a lot of people wanted to succeed because they want Bungie to succeed. But I just feel like unless Sony is going to back up the Brinks truck and give them money to allow them to, like, skate by until they get something bigger and better out. Like, shout out to
like how Ubisoft does for their PvP games.
Yes.
I mean, used to, because they didn't do that for X Defiant. They didn't give X Defiant
no, they didn't give X Defiant no time.
Like, you know, like, it's, you know, this is over a decade ago, so maybe how Ubisoft used to be. But like, they, you know, Rainbow Six Siege did not start out well at all, and it took some months to get themselves on the right track. But eventually, it did get there, and so that's just. But it's like, so many people thought, like, yeah, this is a failure. Go ahead and just give us old school Rainbow Six the way we want it. And they kept to it. I think they did that for For Honor as well. Now I think about it, like, For Honor didn't exactly set the world on fire, and it probably never has really. But still, Ubisoft has, like, consistently continued to support it. I just don't see Sony really having that kind of mentality. We saw it with Concord, for example. Like, Concord actually played well.
A little bit more due to the fact that they have so much money invested. They're not going to just let Bungie go belly up that's not going to happen. So I think they're in a
you
point.
You cannot support Marathon and still not let Bungie go belly up. Like maybe depending on what their next project is.
Well, see, this is the thing though. But so the question comes down to like, what are they going to? So if they're not supporting, they don't have to. Okay, well, what I mean by support Marathon, they're either going to support Marathon. Sometimes they can do it by proxy too, because Marathon gets supported if they give them infusion of money to make the next thing. Because right now, the money that Bungie brings in and the money that they get infused from Sony, it's going to help them make the next game. I don't think Marathon's going to make enough money to do I don't think Marathon's going to make enough money to even fund itself for the future. So I feel like Bungie is going to have to get help from Sony in order to get to the next thing, because if Marathon is going to survive, it's not going to survive just off of itself. It's going to have to get an infusion from Sony to do something along the lines of funding the game throughout the 6 months to a year of development. It's going to need to like get everything where it needs to be initially when the game comes out, and to have a decent roadmap for the first year. But then I think they're going to put more money. Like shout out to Dado. Dado does Destiny, one of the bigger countries. He finally put the video out. I haven't watched a Dado video in a long time, but he put a video out saying, I think it's time. And he put Destiny 3 up on the screen. And he has been one of the people that's been vehemently against them making Destiny 3 because he doesn't know what they would do to make it. But they're at a point now, unless they come up with a brand new IP that they have to craft, theory and everything, that people would like and hope that they like, I think that's out the window. They're not going to be able to make something new that's going to give them a cash infusion that gets people to come back. Destiny 3 is honestly the only thing they think that has a chance, a good enough chance for people to come back.
Well,
but
I mean,
in order for them to do that, though, they're not going to do it off the back. Well, first of all, Destiny 2 is bleeding, it's hemorrhaging. People aren't buying and playing the game. Yes, it's 47,000 people playing it right now. We're also talking about a game that used to have over 100,000 people logged in, close to 500,000 people across all 3 platforms. That's not happening anymore. So now you're going to be putting you're resting all of your hopes on a game in a franchise that doesn't even have a consistent player base in the extraction realm. I just feel like it's bad all the way around. So Sony's going to have to come to the plate and do something, even if they don't want to. But I don't think it's the company is too big to just let them just middle around and do nothing. And I don't think Marathon is it. So I guess I'll ask you this. In your opinion, because I know you don't think Marathon's going to work either, what's going to help? What is Sony going to do to help Bungie get to the next thing? And what would that next thing even possibly be that is a surefire thing? Because they're not going to they're not going to just bet that they can make a new game. They have to fix what's wrong with the company first.
Yeah, I think they're better off making a new IP, but supporting Marathon and hoping that Marathon like turns out to be something good while they are working on a new IP. I think that's best for Bungie and that's best for Sony, because right now Sony has a reputation of not really knowing what the heck they're doing in live service and then giving up on things as soon as they don't provide immediate success.
Right.
And this can alleviate both of those things by showing that they are willing to support games, therefore. Because look, it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy if, like, I am a gamer and I feel like your publisher, as a publisher, you don't really support live service games like that. You want to be in that arena, and
right.
you will greenlight games to be in that arena, but as soon as they don't give you immediate return on investment, you bounce. Why am I gonna buy your battle pass then?
Right.
Why am I going to really
true.
be invested in the game if that's the case? Now, I already, and if you can go back to the DPS archive and you can see before Concord came out, I told everyone this game is going to fail. But I'm going to play it until they turn the service off. Just so happened they turned the servers off a little bit sooner than I thought.
He said the servers died.
But like, it's so bad that like even I, who thought the game was going to fail, didn't anticipate them not even giving it a month.
Right.
And that's just like the repercussions of that isn't just that, okay, all right, you had one bad game, or now your reputation is that you don't know how to make live service games. Now your reputation is that we can't even count on you to even give it a shot, really. Like even give it its chance to be good, because Concord was a good hero shooter.
It was.
Maybe it would have cultivated a community over time, but they did not even give it the opportunity. You know, so it's just when I see that, then I look at Marathon. I do think Marathon will get more time because it's Bungie, but like going forward, it would not shock me, and I can't like criticize anyone for feeling that like I'm not invested, or I'm going to be somewhat hesitant to invest in any of their games when this is how they operate. So I think, well, the perfect scenario would be that they support Marathon and hopefully Marathon is successful. But if it's not, they let it go once Bungie has something new to show. And then they can then dedicate everyone that's on Marathon to whoever this new game is. I think they should go with a new IP. I do not think Destiny 3 has a future. I don't think that the Destiny community is strong, and they will show up initially for Destiny 3, but also it's been a long time since the first Destiny came out. I do not think that the way they developed Destiny 1 and 2 is conducive to being successful long-term as a live service company. Sure, you made a lot of revenue, but you also spent a lot of money and expenses being able to put out content the way that they did. Guaranteed Sony's not going to be down for that. When they come up with if they do Destiny 3, it's going to look differently as far as content. Yeah, it has to be different. So you're going to have some Destiny fans that's not going to be cool with that. And then the overall gaming community has already kind of made up their mind whether they would even engage in the Destiny game or not. Then additionally, you have the fact that you put a 3 on the end of it, and people think, oh, do I need to know or have played the previous ones to understand this one? You know what? I'm good. You know, it's always these kind of like things that really have nothing to do with the actual facts of the game. It could be an amazing game. It could be the best Destiny, but there are people who are just not going to play it because it's a 3 at the end of it.
Disagree with
those
that.
Are just the kind of the reality of things. And I just feel doing a new IP would just alleviate all those issues. So my goal, I would say, to get Bungie back on track and to have Sony, you know, both of them in good graces with one another. New IP, Sony, support Marathon until new IP comes out. And or if Marathon is doing great by the time it comes out, then you continue to support both. But both of them are at a crossroads when it comes to this, you know, Bungie's existence and Sony as a publisher that makes live service games, where they got to actually show and prove at this point.
Well, just remember, currently, Bungie's on the downside. But before, they were kings of their own kingdom. Just saying. Never know.
Yeah. All right, let's get to this this next one.
Really?
Whoops, that's not the right game. Wait, I got the wrong one. Hold on.
Oh Lord, slow-mo.
It's all right. We good. Splitgate 2. But not called Splitgate 2 anymore. Now called Splitgate Arena Reloaded.
Arena Reloaded.
its relaunch started yesterday, and although Steam charts is just a snapshot of what's happening for one segment of the community, the whole overall gaming community of where this game is located, the numbers do not look good. It was less than 10,000 people playing it when I checked it today. For a relaunch, that's pretty bad. But I haven't played it yet. I haven't installed it yet. I do plan on installing it and seeing just how well it plays. If it's a return to form for Splitgate 1. But they did remove the factions and abilities and select equipment to refocus on classic arena combat, which is what everyone who played and enjoyed the first game wanted. They also introduced tools to counter portal play now. So if you are someone who don't like the portals, but frankly, if you are not trying to use portals in this game, you're not going to be a top level player. So now they're trying to introduce tools to help if you're the kind of person that don't want to use portals, you can still counter portal play and still be able to do pretty well. But of course, all these things are done to entice players to give the game a shot again. And yeah, doesn't look like that's going to happen. They also said they improved the game's performance on Unreal Engine 5. I never had issues with its performance at all, but maybe some people on weaker PCs did. So, that's something that they at least improved upon. I kind of feel like I already know where this is going, but Forte, are you giving this relaunch a shot, or is this the end of 1047 games?
Man, I don't want to say it's the end of it. It just kind of feels that way because the community has kind of spoken. It's like they it got a little bit of I remember when they first came in, they came to consoles, a lot of people were playing it like crazy. And then people just kind of got used to it. And I know people were talking about it in the vein of Halo and stuff, and Halo with portals and stuff. And a lot of people were super into that. But it is so hard, especially in this genre. I give them credit for the ingenuity and just the different ways of trying to, promote traversal of a level and, the mechanics of going through portals. And the cool thing is, if you ever watch a really good team of people that know how to use them, the game looks funner than it is. But the thing is, you're not engaging.
The skill gap to get there is a little.
Yeah, the skill gap is crazy. But the thing is, everybody wants to learn how to be that way. And this game isn't conducive for you to see that all the time because the game doesn't really promote, which is weird. It doesn't promote you to feel like you need to get better at it in order to really, really do good at it, because not everybody uses the portal system. Not everybody uses it. Well, first of all, they don't use it the correct way. But when you run into a team that does, it almost borderline isn't fun.
It's because it's not competitive. When you have people who don't know how to use portals and go up against a team of people who do know how to use portals, it's a massacre. Yes. It is a complete disaster for the other team. It also sucks if the SBMM puts you on a team, if you're playing with randoms, puts you on a team that doesn't know what they're doing, but you do, and you're just basically, it's you just in lobbies where it's pub stomping going on, and you may do great, but your team still lost by half the other team's score, and you're like, what am I doing here? Right. and I'm not I want to try it again, and I'm probably just going to uninstall it again after it's done, because I enjoy playing Splitgate, but when the community is so small, it's just I'm playing the same players over and over and over again, and it just gets boring. It's like you start to I when Splitgate 1 was out, I would see some of the same players in the lobby. I'm like, I know this dude. I know his tendencies. I know where on this map he likes to hide. I know this guy likes to shoot a portal across the map, shoot a portal near him, and snipe through the portal. I know where he loves to do that. Let me go find him and make his day bad. Like, it's just, that's fine for a little while, but then it just gets boring. It's kind of how I feel about Road Company. Same thing with Road Company. I would see the same players. They would see me. They'd be like, "Oh, damn, it's SloMo again."
Yep.
He's probably going to pick Tracer, or he's going to pick Anvil. It's just like they know you at a certain point, and when the player base is that small, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, where it's just it's probably not going to survive with this few players.
Yeah,
and I'm sure like the number of players on Steam isn't its total amount of players, because it's on Xbox, it's on PlayStation, it's on Epic Games Store, it's on other platforms, other storefronts. But it's likely it's more than likely the numbers on those other platforms are similar to what it is on Steam than some outlier. That Steam's an outlier in some way. So when that's the case, you're just waiting for the game to die. And I frankly, at this point in time, I'm not sitting around at a game's deathbed like I was with Road Company. I'm not doing that no more. I got too many games to play. I feel like I'm neglecting Fortnite at this point. I got the Battle Pass, and I haven't barely played it because I've been playing so much COD and other stuff. And so, yeah, I'm not going to stick around for a dead game, and most people won't. So, that it's unfortunate, because I feel like they made a lot of missteps. But, in this day and age, there is no, we'll get it back next time, my bad. You make these kind of missteps in this economy, in this point in the industry, your studio's gone. So it's just really unfortunate how the studio showed so much promise with the first game. And I feel like they should have just really continued to flesh out the first game instead of doing a sequel. Maybe that was their real first and maybe biggest mistake, but it is what it is, man. You ready to get this last one done?
Oh, really? What does that say?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Phantom Blade Zero is a timed console exclusive game for the PlayStation 5. It will not be coming out until September 2026, and so therefore it will not show up on Xbox until September 2027. Forte, your thoughts?
Say that one more time. When
Phantom Blade Zero is coming out September next year.
Oh, next year. I thought you said 2027, bro.
Oh, on the Xbox, is coming on September 2027.
You did say 2020. I was sitting there like, wait a minute, 2027. Hold up. I thought you meant the whole game. Okay.
No. Well, it's the whole game, but
it is
not to a particular platform. It's on PC and PlayStation 5 in September 2026.
It's September 2026. It's a game it's one of the games I'm really, really looking forward to. It honestly might not be a bad idea that it comes out later on Xbox, because, I think a lot of, if you look at just how people spending is right now, you look at how much games are selling, it's almost like if you're not one of the most anticipated games, or you're a game that's in that game of the year conversation, I almost feel like games that come out early in the year benefit better than coming out early in the year, because
hey, Forte, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have the chat up?
Yeah, I do.
All right, there's Mac in the chat asked you a question. So we just want to make sure that you saw it, and then you can respond. But go ahead and continue.
What's up, Forte? Hey, SloMo.
I thought you could do two different things at the same time.
No, I'm reading this, and I wanted to read this outside. Oh my God. Yeah. I just threw it.
But no, Phantom Blade Zero is looks really good. What they showed at the gameplay at the Video Game Awards looks fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. It's not it's not day one for most people, for me as it is for most people, but I'm definitely going to play this on PC, of course. I just it's just I think it's interesting that Sony is, despite Xbox still putting their games on PlayStation. Sony is still boot on the neck of the Xbox console. Nah, we still doing these timed exclusives, buddy. So,
well, the funny thing is, that's the crazy thing. It's like Sony is still acting like the console war is a thing when they actively have PlayStation Xbox games on their system. Xbox don't even care about selling consoles like that no more. Just
they're like, the war's over when we say it's over.
Let the games be
over
everywhere.
when we say so.
Well, let me ask you this, SloMo, and I'm gonna ask. I want you to really think about this. Would you be spending the money? If you know that you pretty much beat your rival into submission, or at least they have tapped out before you could even do anything to them, would you still be investing all of this extra money? Because guess what? They still had to, even if it was a small amount, it's still money invested to bring this and hold it as an exclusive on their platform. Do you still want them to do things like that, or do you want them to like use that money to like go towards other endeavors that can like bolster their first party and not just be releasing one first party game a year like Hiroki Toki was talking about?
Well, I would say this. Maybe this deal is a holdover from before
everything.
Because I've known about Phantom Blade Zero for at least 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
So like maybe this deal was a holdover from when they thought that Microsoft and Xbox were still competing in the console arena like that. Now that they don't, it's like you can't be like, hey, S Games, yeah, so that contract we did, that all that money we spent, I mean, we don't really need it no more, so can we have it back? Like, no, that's not happening. The contract's the contract. You already, put the money down. You already invested that money in the way that you did, and so it's done. So I think maybe if it's a game that's like a brand new, like newly announced game that we hadn't seen before, and then we find out that that's the case where they've money had it, so to speak, then
money had it.
Right. I mean, I'm before I was talking like, oh, like we still boot on the neck, but honestly, we really don't know if this is a case of it's an older deal where it's kind of like Final Fantasy the Final Fantasy 7 R games where they're all timed exclusive for PlayStation. Or it's a case where it's like, say, Dispatch, for example. Dispatch hasn't put the game on Xbox yet because they are a smaller team that are prioritizing certain platforms they thought the game would be more successful on first. And so it wasn't that PlayStation, like, money had it Dispatch. It's just that's just the way the cookie crumbles, man. Dispatch was just looking like, yeah, we're not really trying to put this on Xbox until we get this game out and running, polished on the biggest platforms we think it'll be successful on, which turned out to be PC and PlayStation. So, either way, like, this is kind of the position that Microsoft kind of put themselves in, not being as successful on the console front. And then when you put your games on your rival platforms, then like that further deprioritizes your platform, from everyone else's standpoint. So it's what it is, man.
I agree.
All right. Get into these main topics now. Call of the Duty is in a collaboration with the Fallout TV show, which is
shout out
Microsoft,
to that first episode.
which is themselves. Yeah, this first episode was great. Off to a great start.
So
this has been something that I have said they've been needing to do, Microsoft that is, with their own IP for a long time now. Like, why are you putting pothead iguanas in Call of Duty as skins? Why are you putting Beavis and Butthead and the Family Guy in this game that look stupid and silly when you have Master Chief, when you have Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War, you have all these other IP that are from like warlike kind of games that you could put into Call of Duty and you would make a S-ton amount of money more off of that than Pothead Iguana Guy. And it's just, they didn't do that ever since they have acquired them. And now we're starting to see some signs that maybe they do have some common sense. The Fallout TV show just came out. And although this isn't coming out this collaboration isn't coming to Call of Duty until January. I think it's like middle of January. But it is a good sign. So essentially you'll be getting Lucy McLean, who is portrayed by Ella Purnell. Yeah, Ella Purnell.
Yeah, Ella Purnell.
So you'll get her skin available in the game. The Ghoul, who everyone loves, and Maximus as well. And so all three of them will be available based upon what we've seen from the teaser that they showed. Before I get into my question for you, Forte, I want to shout out to all the people. This is not a shout out to you, Forte, just let you know. Shout out to all the Battlefield 6 people.
Oh, Lord.
Who were all like, oh, yeah, Call of Duty's done. Call of Duty's over for Call of Duty. Yeah, it's Battlefield's time. Shout out to all the Arc Raider, people out there who act like Arc Raiders was the most innovative thing they've ever played, and Call of Duty is done. Call its time and the sun is over.
Todd dead. It died. Died on the hill.
Shout out to y'all who I told to slow your roll because you don't know what you're talking about. Maybe wait for some daggone sales data before you crown Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders as the new kings of multiplayer.
Well,
maybe just wait.
Well, I will say this, SloMo. As of right now, coming into November, Battlefield 1 is still the highest selling game of the year. As of right now.
Can we get some context? You want some context for that?
Yeah, go ahead.
The pay period with the period, they're still calling it in the little fine print on that chart.
Yep.
It's got Battlefield 6 at number 1. It's got Black Ops 7 at number 6 or 7 or something like that. Yep. Number 6. That's just the pre-order numbers for Black Ops 7.
Oh, I know.
So Battlefield 6 is number 1. And before the game was officially, because the game didn't come out to November 14th.
Yeah.
So on November 1st, just the pre-order numbers for Black Ops 7 got Black Ops 7 at number 6 for the year.
Uh-huh.
And in the month of November, what was number 1?
Call of Duty.
Black Ops 7 is number 1. So this is why I was telling people just chill, because you might be catching the L later on.
But this is nothing new, though.
It's like, exactly, it's common freaking sense.
Because Call of Duty,
common sense isn't common to some people.
Yeah, because listen, I've been telling people for a while, I was like, there is a reason that people were so celebratory of Hogwarts Legacy beating Call of Duty in sales that year. Like, Hogwarts Legacy, yes, it came out in, I think, February of that year. So it had a whole year. But Call of Duty always released. So the most Call of Duty ever has in a calendar year to sell is 2 months. Usually it comes out either midway through October or the first week, or no later than the second week of November. So Call of Duty
usually
always
ends up being in the top 3 with just 2 months.
in 2 months, and it ends up being the number one sold game for the year by the time it's all said and done. So Call of Duty is one of those games that people just don't. I'm trying to tell people it's a thing, but Battlefield definitely has stepped up their game.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
to put themselves in a situation where they can even argue a fact that it's a possibility. Now, I think once we get the numbers for December, it's going to be wild because, first of all, we don't have enough Battlefield copies. I think EA is really leaning into digital copies for Battlefield more than physical copies because I haven't got a restock of Battlefield games like to the level of Call of Duty since it's been out. Like, I got a huge restock of Call of Duty, and guess what? We're almost out of that. So I think ultimately, when it's all said and done, Call of Duty is going to be the biggest selling game of the year. I think it takes a very, very special game to unseat that game when it comes to that. And I don't think that game is going to come. That game came out this year, unfortunately. Battlefield, as much as I love it, I don't think it will. I don't think you will see another game beat Call of Duty until next year in November, if it comes out in November, when Grand Theft Auto comes out. And by itself, it will be not only the best game that sells in 2026, it will also be the best-selling game in 2027. So I think 2 years in a row, Battlefield, Call of Duty will not be the best-selling game of the year. I think next year and in 2027, that's
What
going
was
to
it
go to
last
Grand
year?
Theft Auto.
What was it last year? The best-selling game of last year? What was that?
Call of Duty.
But you said you think 2 years in a row it won't be the best-selling game of the year.
Next year. Okay, Grand Theft Auto comes out next year.
So wait, so you think in January when we get the final year numbers of 2025,
Yep.
Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is not going to be there.
No. I know I'm saying Black Ops 7 this year for 2026 will be the best-selling game in 2026. 2027.
Okay. Wait. But for 2025, I think it's going to be the best-selling game of 2025.
Yeah, sorry, 25. Yeah, it's going to be the best-selling game in 2025. It's going to be. 2026, it's not going to be the best-selling game because Grand Theft Auto is going to be the best-selling game of that year. And then in 2027, I don't care what Call of Duty game comes out in 2027. It still ain't going to be the best-selling game in 2027 because I think Grand Theft Auto is going to be the best-selling game again in 2027. So there will be 2 years in a row.
It was just delayed. Okay, so you think GTA is going to get delayed? You think GTA 6 gets delayed to 2027?
No. Think about it. No, Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, you just think that? Okay, I got you now.
It's going to just keep selling.
It's going to keep selling, so it outsells it in both years. That's definitely a possibility.
That's what I think
believe that
happen.
is 1,000% a possibility.
Because it comes out at the end of the year. It's going to come out in November. It's going to have more sales in 1 month than most games have an entire freaking career. It's going to probably, like, you remember when they were talking about Horizon Forbidden West selling 20 million and Spider-Man selling like 25 million. And remember when remember Mario Kart selling 40 million? You're going to see that. You're going to see that in half a year in Grand Theft Auto. I wouldn't be surprised if you see that in the first 2 or 3 months of the game coming out. It's going to be stupid. Like if a game like Cyberpunk, think about this. Cyberpunk sold 12.7 million
Technically
copies.
14.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Technically 14.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But those refunds.
That's what I was going to say.
They had like 2 million in refunds. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They sold 12 million copies after the refunds. And that was in the first weekend. Grand Theft Auto is going to do that in a day.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be wild how that's going to. So I'm just putting the stakes on that now. Is that really an outlandish take to have? No. People are going to be like, that makes sense. It's definitely going to win in 2026, but it ain't. But 2027, I just think that it's going to be a lot of people because guess what? What's going to happen a year later in 2027? I think the game's going to come to PC in 2027. I think it's going to be a year delay. And what's going to happen?
It wouldn't surprise me if it's less than a year delay.
It might be.
If they try to get it out faster, because where the PC platform was back when GTA 5 came out is it's a different animal than like a lot of the growth that is happening in gaming is PC related. It's not, like consoles aren't like, they're not contracting, but they're not growing at the same pace as PC is. And so with the environment, the landscape being so different than it was back then, they're not going to change their process, which is, from what we've heard from Rockstar developers, is that they develop, they're going to polish it and put it on console, and then they focus on it. Then they put it on. Then they put it on PC, and that will continue. That we've seen that with GTA 5. We saw that with Red Dead 2. I think that will continue, but with the way that the PC community has embraced those custom like servers where people are doing their own things in GTA 5, like they've already put so many plans in place to kind of try to like capture that revenue that was going to other people managing those servers, that I feel like they've already got that planned out, and they're not going to want to wait to try to capture that community on PC as quickly as possible. So
no, I agree with that.
You ready to do this last one?
This
one's going to be pretty interesting. Yeah,
this one sucks, honestly, as a gamer.
Yeah. So according to Matt Piscatella of Circana, console hardware sales for November of this year have not been this low since 1995. And no, that's not like a typo. That's not a misinterpretation of the chart that he provided. It's really that low. Like the only other point on that chart that has been lower than where November's console hardware sales was November of 1995. To be clear, let me tell you the number of games that weren't even released by then. Halo Combat Evolved wasn't released then. Final Fantasy VII wasn't released then. Like, this is a long time ago. In 1995, I was in high school. Okay, I'm 44 now.
I just made it to high school in 1995. That was my freshman year in high school.
Yeah, so it's not good. And of course, why is this happening? It's because we're also and that's also reflected in the chart, a significantly record high in pricing for consoles at this moment. And so despite it being Black Friday in November, didn't matter. Switch sales were down 10% compared to last year. Last year, the Switch 2 wasn't out. This year, the Switch 2 is out. Still don't matter. Sales are down. So they were down 10%. And PlayStation 5 was down 40% compared to last year, and the Xbox Series consoles down a whopping 70%. Now, with what we understand is going on in the environment, in the industry, where AI and these companies mad dash focus on AI has monopolized all the supply for DRAM. And that also, apparently, it could potentially raise the price of the Switch 2 41% when they run out of current supply. My question to you, Forte, is how much worse is this going to get in 2026? Despite all the big games like GTA 6 coming out. There'll be a lot of people, if you didn't get your console already, I'm sorry for you, because you had to spend an arm and a leg to play GTA 6. My bad. Go ahead, man.
No, you're good. So I have a very surprising take on this, and this is something that, just because I work in a retail space, I think is being kind of not taken as something that people could consider. I think console sales are down. Absolutely. The biggest reason they're down is because of price. Price is definitely the biggest reason they're down. And the reason I can say the biggest reason they're down is because of price is because I have one of the biggest stores when it comes to trades at my store. Like when Switch 2 came out, I probably took in well over 100 Switches in trade. Like, of all the Switch 2s I sold, I probably traded somebody's version 1, version 2, OLED or something in towards a Switch 2. And for the majority of this year, I was sitting on maybe 110 to 150 Switches in my back room. Same thing with PS5s. At one point, I had well over 80 or 90 PS5s used in my back room. Xboxes, not as much because they didn't sell as many, but I still had a good amount of those. I'm getting to the point where my Switches are dwindling when it comes to used ones. I have a lot of Switch 2s still. I think people have pivoted. They're still getting into the ecosystem. A used system for a PS5 is like $430, where a new one, if you could catch the bundles and stuff that they put out with the PlayStation deal that they're doing, it's like $100 difference between the systems now. And when you're talking about games costing $60, $70, granted, a lot of the games are on sale. Like Call of Duty right now is on sale for $45. Games like Assassin's Creed is on sale for $20. So there's a lot of good games and a lot of good sales out there. But I've been selling a lot of consoles. I sold a lot of Xbox Series S's and X's. I sold a lot of PS5s, digital, non-digital, just the PS5s in general. And I sold a crap ton of Switches. They just weren't of the new variety. So people are still buying consoles. They're just not buying as many new consoles because the price is so much higher. Like, if you think about the price, like right now, SloMo, this is normally when people are willing to go out and spend money on a new console, because when they drop a bundle like Black Friday or holiday lead-up sales, they would buy a PlayStation. Remember, let's go back to PS5, PS4. PS4 had bundles for Spider-Man. Remember when they were doing, when Spider-Man 2018 came out, they were doing a bundle with Spider-Man 2018 the year it came out for $200. That was $152. That was like $150 to $200 off a PS4 at the time. Guess what the price of a PS5 is right now? Ghost of Tsushima bundle, $600. A base PS5 with Fortnite, a Fortnite bundle, $499. That's not a discount, because that's the regular price that a PlayStation was when it came out. So you're basically just paying launch prices for systems right now. Digital PS5s
for outdated, super outdated old systems, by the way.
Exactly. So yes, they're discounting the systems, but you're paying the price of what the system was 5 years ago at this point. So people are like, they still want to get into the ecosystem. They still want to buy the systems, but if they could go somewhere and get somewhat of relief, and it used to be a point where people was like, well, it's only a $70 difference in price. But when you're starting to talk about a $70 difference in price, you still got to buy the games. You still probably got to buy extra controllers. Shoot, that $70 adds up at the end of the day. So we're seeing more and more people, in my opinion, just opting to get the system at its cheapest point, which is going to these places and buying them used. And of course, you still have people going out there and buying new. That's never going to change, because people just like having new things. But just like I said, I can only speak
the
from
number of people who are willing to do that gets lower the higher the price goes. Yeah, that's just basic economics. The higher you make your price, the lower the demand for that product at that price point is. And that's just the way it's going to be until some things change. And unfortunately, with the RAM prices being the way it is, you're basically just hoping it don't go up higher. Like it's definitely not going to go lower.
This is the funny thing is, I wouldn't be surprised at the end of this holiday, and it is going to be, and people are going to be very, very vexed about this. PlayStation or Nintendo, probably not Xbox, but PlayStation and Nintendo is going to come out with numbers. And they're going to talk about active users, MAUs. They're going to talk about their monthly active users. They're going to talk about how they're subscribed. They're going to say how many people grew the PlayStation network, or how Nintendo grew the Nintendo network. And you're going to be like, how the heck did this number get this big when system sales are down? That's because they're not buying new systems. I'm trying to tell you, it's going to be some point in the future where that report's going to come out and they're going to talk about it, because they like to celebrate how many people are inside of their ecosystem, and it's going to be very counterintuitive to the numbers you're going to see when it comes to like new sales of those items and stuff. And when it does happen, we're going to come back to this podcast. You're going to be like, man, Forte was on to something, because I don't think people stop buying consoles. It's sad to see a moment. Like, the sad thing for me is the fact that we have gotten to a point where world economics have gotten into the way of our hobby, is making us pay more for something that should not cost as much as it is. And that's not just on the console side. That's even on our side, being a PC enthusiast, because you almost have to hold off upgrading your PC because of how much the price of some of this stuff costs. It's not cost effective. And it's not, and for a console base, it's easier to go out and buy a used console than it is to convince somebody to go out and buy a used motherboard or a used processor, because those things have a little bit more wear and tear. You don't know what kind of benchmarking they were doing, what kind of work they were doing, if they were overclocking. Some people don't want to have that stuff on there, versus a console. You just turn the console on and you play it. It doesn't, it's outside of controller drift and stuff like that. You really don't have anything else to kind of worry about when it comes to a console. So people are willing to buy that, where people on PC are willing to like spend a little bit more money because they like to have the newest and greatest things. But at the price points we're at, is very, very counterintuitive to people spending money. So I think it's very, very understandable why console sales are declining, but I only think they're declining because people are pivoting to go somewhere else to get them, because they're still buying the stuff. They're just not buying the stuff that matters to count towards the number that PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo care about. And Nintendo, honestly, I think Nintendo's going to be perfectly fine with Switch 2 sales right now, once the well dries up on used Switches, because there's a lot of people, and let's be honest, I love my Switch 2. I know you bought a Switch 2 because you want to play Fire Emblem when it comes out on it. But honestly, is there really a reason to own a Switch 2 right now? Unless you want to play Mario Kart, really, or you want to play really Donkey Kong, there's really no reason to have a Switch 2 unless you just want better overall gameplay and better performance and stuff. Outside of that, a lot of people are just choosing to wait. It was like, okay, a Switch 1 is just as good as a Switch 2, and I could play 90% of the games that's on a Switch 1 because they haven't all migrated over to Switch 2. Maybe in 2 years, a year and a half to 2 years, that's a different conversation. But right now, people are deciding to like, hey, that OLED that I kind of like skipped over, there's people trading in regular Switches for OLEDs now. And an OLED's been out for like 5 years. So that's kind of where we're at now. Okay, has it been out 5 years? Maybe 3 years?
Probably 4, I think, at the most.
Yeah, but we're still talking about 10-year-old hardware at this point, almost, Lomo. 9 years. A OLED, the only difference between an OLED and a version 1 Switch is a better battery with more space and a kickstand and a better screen. It still performs the same exact way as a version 1 Switch. It's no different. Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah. And those are still look, I bought another Switch Lite. I mean, I say that's too loud. That's a Christmas gift. But I don't know if any of the kids are still up listening. But I bought another Switch Lite for the kids.
A Switch Lite?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I
You
don't
give them a real Switch, SloMo? A real Switch?
No, I don't trust them to not break Joy-Cons or lose them. So.
But you know, I always look at that like, but if you break it's like this, unless the joy, is there like has anybody done like a test of Joy-Cons on a Switch Lite? Like the controller on a Switch Lite versus the Joy-Cons separately?
Well, it's the same. It's the same Joy-Cons.
Is the failure rate the same? Because if you have a Switch Lite, you're replacing the whole console if the Joy-Con goes out.
True. If it comes to it, then more than likely, because like she's already like my daughter is interested in some games that are like that. This is a Kirby game that's only on the Switch too, right?
The new Kirby game. Yeah, Kirby. Yeah, she's Air Riders, which is really good.
Yeah. If I get that, I'll probably just get it and let her play on mine when she wants to. But with me being like within
2 feet away,
view, right, and make sure she ain't breaking nothing. But
or just let her play on the TV, and then you give her a controller so she doesn't interact with the Joy-Cons at all. She just interacts with a controller.
That's true. But I may I'll probably eventually get a second one. I almost pulled the trigger on one because Micro Center was selling the Switch 2 for $400.
Okay.
Actually, it probably still is right now. You gotta go in and pick it up in store, but you know it's Micro Center. That's what you do. Micro Center.
That's what you do.
We'll see. But anyway, it's just unfortunate the way this is going, and not a good look for the console market. But it does let me think that like this is my opinion. You know, I haven't heard anything. This is just my opinion. But I feel like the way prices are may and with pricing and RAM pricing going up, I know we've talked about like these platforms aren't about subsidizing the cost anymore. No, they're about charging you whatever it costs to come in, and that's that. We said that about like Valve and the Steam machine. The Steam machine. We've seen that with like the Sony and the PS5 Pro. We are hearing more and more about that with the next Xbox that comes out, in addition to, you know, how the ROG Xbox handheld was priced. I do think that there's only a very, very small percentage of gamers that are willing to spend that kind of money. And the vast majority of the sales of the console market comes from casuals. They're not going to upgrade at those prices. And either one or two things need to happen or going to happen. They are going to release really expensive new hardware, new consoles, with the understanding that the console market is going to, for the majority of like the current ones, will just stick to their PS5s and their Xbox Series consoles because it's too expensive to upgrade. Right. Or they'll wait. They'll wait until things change with the economy. They'll wait until RAM prices go back down, which they have multiple times in the past. And if they do that, maybe then they can release it at a price that's reasonable enough that like people actually jump aboard. But we'll see. We'll have to see. Let's get up out of here though, man. It's getting late. This is the final episode of DPS Podcast. That's Damage Per Second Podcast of the year 2025. We're going to do one more thing before we get up out of here, and that is Forte. I want us to let everyone know what our favorite game of 2025 was, and what game that is kind of like a sleeper that no one really talked about this year that you recommend people go out and play? I know I'm kind of throwing this at you last second, so I'll go first.
Yeah, you are.
So I would say my favorite game of 2025 is Expedition 33. No surprise for anyone that's been watching the show. The game that I would recommend everyone go out and play, we do two. One is Dark Deity 2, which is a strategy RPG. It's very, very good. I don't think it came out this year, though, but it's a game that I played this year, therefore I'm using it. So, yeah, I think it came out last year, but it's a really, really good RPG. And if you are into games like Fire Emblem, then you would like or XCOM, then you would like Dark Deity 2. And the other one is Dispatch. I think Dispatch is, it's a Telltale kind of game, but those games are like good change of pace, palate cleanser kind of games after you done played something really heavy, and quick enjoyable experiences that most everyone, despite the kind of gamer that you are, tend to gravitate towards. And this is one of the better ones. So I think Dark Deity 2 and Dispatch, if you haven't played those, do yourself a favor and play them. Forte, what do you
got? So I too will say I haven't finished it yet, but Expedition is by far the best game that came out this year. For me, I will say Battlefield because I love Battlefield, and this is like the reason I say Battlefield from like mostly for myself is because I feel like DICE finally gave me the thing that I really wanted, is a Battlefield that functioned, right out the gate. Like there were some hiccups and stuff, but this I have no issues with this game at all at this point. So for myself, I would say that, but if I had to say what game was a game that is like hands down, it's a reason that swept at the Game Awards. If I would to say a sleeper game, I would say that people, I'm trying to think. If I said Donkey Kong, you'd be mad at me, wouldn't you, SloMo?
No, it's your choice, man. I'm not gonna be mad.
Donkey Kong is definitely not. Donkey Kong is definitely not a sleeper game. Adamfall, I think is really, really like slept on. That was a really, really cool game. I think a lot of people slept on Hades 2 because I think Hades 2, a lot of people looked at it, said it doesn't really do enough to like separate itself from the first one. It kind of just uses the formula of the first one. It just improves on it. But I think there's a little bit more depth in that game that people aren't really realizing. So it is a reason that a lot of people were looking at it as like it could have been one of those games that could have been in that top tier when it came to like consideration for more awards than it actually was in. So I think that was another game. It's kind of hard to say Hades was slept on, but compared to the first one, nowhere near the notoriety that it got. But if you want to know a really good game, Citizen Sleeper 2 is a indie RPG that someone put me on a while ago that I started playing. I wasn't really into visual novels, but this game kind of really does it in a very unique way through the narrative and the mechanics that it actually speaks. And I like the overall story about, synthetics and everything. And I thought it was really, really cool. And it really speaks to you because it's in that cyberpunk setting. And I think that's a game that a lot of people, if you really, really like, RPGs and you like cyberpunk, I think you would really, really enjoy a game like Citizen Sleeper. I'm about halfway through that, but I was kind of surprised how much I actually liked it when somebody had mentioned it to me, and they actually bought the game for me and was like, try it. And I did, and I was like, yo, it's actually pretty cool. So that's probably the game, if I had to say off the beaten path, is a game that I think a lot of people should give a try or at least look into.
Cool. Here's another one. I know this is not this year, but I played it last year. Actually, it might have been out for the past couple years, but Slater Princess is
oh my God.
gem.
That was hilarious watching you play that game.
That is a gem. It's such a great game. And I think it might actually be on sale right now. I know I saw the dev say something on Twitter earlier, either yesterday or earlier today, in regards to the director's cut version of the game, which has a little bit more choice involved with it. But Slater Princess is freaking awesome. Love that game. Let's get up out of here, Forte. We won't be back again until January. And if I look at the calendar,
It will be January 8th.
The 8th? Yeah, the 8th. So we'll be off for 2 weeks. Be back January 8th. Are you, the podcast will be back. Doesn't mean that we may not stream something if we have the time. What you got planned going, not necessarily with streaming, but what you got planned on playing and for the next 2 weeks?
Finishing Expedition. I want to finish it this calendar year. So I'm going to finish that this year. That is probably the number one thing that I have planned. And then, honestly, I want to get through, because my goal is to get through the games that I've been like neglecting that came out in 2025 and have them done in 2025 so I can focus on other things in 2026. Of course, Battlefield would kind of be the mainstay game, but I definitely want to get through Expedition and finish that. And then I want to finish Hollow Knight before the end of this year. Outside of that, just really, jumping in and playing other little games and stuff. Like I finally booted up Stellar Blade not too long ago. I don't think I'm going to finish it this year, but that's another game that's kind of on the radar that I want to kind of finish too. But definitely going to finish Hollow Knight and definitely going to finish Expedition, because I definitely want to have that conversation about the things you guys were talking about, because y'all been very, very respectful of letting me finish the game before we got into those deeper conversations. So that's kind of the go. But you know what? I just thought about it. Death Stranding still up there. 2 of these games are going to get beat this year. Death Stranding will get beat on stream, because I haven't played that game not on stream. It just really comes down to like if work permits me, because of the way that the scheduling is. If I don't finish that this year, that will probably be the first game I stream in 2026. Probably during the dead week that we're not doing the show. So during that week, probably look out for a stream on that. That's something I will commit to during that week of the first week of January. So be on the lookout for that, and we'll post like what day it's going to happen and everything, because then I'll be back to like a regular schedule of programming. But that's kind of the goal for right now, just to get through a couple of those games for 2025 before the year ends.
I'm gonna say eventually Arc Raiders for me. I may stream that
Nope.
when I finally get to playing it. You mean nope?
Nope. Still haven't bought that game.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I have it. I own it. I have it installed. I haven't yet to boot it up. But
yeah, I know.
I
You
will
paid all this
probably-
money. Could have got it on sale by now.
it's just $40. I mean, I'm
It's
not
still,
trying to
I think it's on sale for $27.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
That's DLC characters, bro. That's armor and stuff.
That, and I may stream myself taking on these new bosses in Expedition 33, since everyone is acting like they're the bee's knees. They're so hard. Like I can't imagine them being harder than Simon, but we'll see. We'll have to see. But that's probably what you could catch me doing if we go live in the next 2 weeks. Before the next DPS show, which will be episode 256. But if we don't see you before then, happy holidays. Enjoy your time with family, if you can, and enjoy your games, man. Peace.
Peace.
Oh, sorry. Before we go, shout out to Mac22TH54 for becoming a part of the DPS infantry. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you for becoming a channel member. And if you also want to be a channel member, just hit that little button It says it's right beside the subscribe button. Hit that too if you haven't done that already. Hit the like button on your way out and enjoy. You guys take care.
Peace.